Hey guys, good evening. It's S3 Motorworks again, and guess what? We're still working on. Yep, there it is. Hi, it's the F-18. Brought you guys down to bench level. I've been playing with some things today. These are my weapons pylons, and I'm trying desperately to keep them in focus for you guys. I made a little bit of progress for them. I think some of you guys can probably see the detail I'm after. I've got these pins set up as drop pins that are going to drop in these first ones, so I'm going to put about a half a millimeter or so showing through the bottom, and then I'm going to line the rear ones up with that, and essentially these are going to be the empty pylon hangers. But I'm just going to sort of wedge this thing down here and let you guys watch me as I work. So okay, good luck. Here we go. Using a little Loctite 60-second gel. I like it because it gives me a little extra time to work, but not all the time in the world, and it only needs to go on one surface. So for this particular application, it's actually going to work out real well. Oh goodness, my headlight's dead. Ah! Okay, well, that's alright. We'll just press on. Try and keep my big hands out of the way. Sorry, guys. Very little bit on there. Should do real nice. Matter of fact, that is probably too much. This is going to be such a minute detail, but if it comes out, it is going to look wicked, I think. And I am already well on the way to thinking that it's going to look pretty wicked, because that one dropped in there almost perfect. So I do have just a few seconds to deal with that glue, so I'm going to let it set for just a sec and give it a final check before I decide to leave it alone or not. And with some of these, we're going to need to wipe, so be prepared. Push it in, way in. Now, like I said, it's going to be a very, very tiny detail. So far that's 2 down and they look great. Ah! Sorry. Jesus. So, here we go again with camera issues. It's just me being a dummy. Alright, here we go. On to number 3. So those 2 are done. I should be able to set these back ones no problem at all because they're much shorter than the front ones. I just wanted to make sure, because if you guys see what I'm after, I have a little nubbin showing right here on the front one. Not sure if you can see that or not, but then on the top where this other brass piece is, there's a little bit of relief, that same 1/2 millimeter in there. It's a neat 3D detail. Very neat 3D detail. So anyways, you can see I wasn't fibbing about the glue. It works real well. You should always have different glues on your bench for different applications, because there's plenty of different ones out there. Eek! Got a little too much of that on my tweezers there. I do not want sticky tweezers for this portion. No, I don't! Oh my, Scotty. I think you measured and cut just about right. Jesus, I'm sorry, I just had to glance at all those again. I thought for a second, did I put those on the wrong side? Am I dressing up the wrong side of them? But I'm not. I just had them laid out. I've been in my magnifiers most of the day. Maybe not most of the day, but I've been in them a lot more than I've been out of them today. So my eyes are quite tired. Alright, well, we got a good rhythm going. We're going to set the backs. Sorry, I really didn't mean to eat up the first 8 minutes of the video this way. But it's where I'm at in the build, so I thought I'd just show it with you guys. Or show it to you, anyway. The different brass pieces and things that I put in here, these little collets, they're just, if I'm not mistaken, that's 3/64ths. I'm sure that's an inside diameter. And then this is, the wire I'm working with right now is actually hard wire. It's music wire. It's 0.25, 25 thousandths. Okay. Let's try that one more time. Nah. Yeah, keep your toothpick close and your enemies closer, huh? Speaking of enemies, that's a rolling sharp thing, that's an enemy. I was thinking about using some CA accelerant on here, but I don't like using it. It's got amine in it, and I'm sure, as you can probably tell, probably from a Latin persuasion, it's an ammonia-based fuming liquid. It's not good for you. Respiratory, brain, kidneys, lungs, liver, CNS. Come on, you bastard. Don't you get sticky on me now. Motherfucker. Okay. Thought that was going to get sticky on me for a second, and I was right. It did, and just must have not got enough glue on there, so I'm going to hit it again around that collar and let it sit. And I'll pick off that extra glue later. That should come off without too much issue. Sharp blade. That's what's hard about setting those back ones, because I was just trying to conserve on wire a little bit, but I think once they set up, they'll be fine. So I'm not going to worry about them too much. Here we go. Numbers 3 and 4, almost done. And gee, only what, 11 minutes in. Christ, Scotty. Oh, that's so much easier. That's close. Excuse me one second. I'm going to get my magnifier mirror and see if I can show you guys some of this. Punisher screen. Peek. Peek, peek. Light, no light. Alright, let's see if we can set the stage for this just a little bit. Slide these guys over. Not go all the way over. And we'll take a look here. Now these were very plain Jane pylons. Up here are the attachment points to the wings. That's where they're going to go in. So you guys can see I did a little bit of the detail up here in that magnifier, so you can see it's got a little blowhole up there. I don't know if you can catch a glimpse of that rod, but that was kind of the effect that I was going for in there. It's a 1/2 millimeter shy up top, and look at that, sticks out, give or take about a 1/2 millimeter on the bottom on both sides. So anyway, that's what I did to dress those up, and quite honestly, I'm going to do, sorry about that, I have a couple of more strips. I think I'm going to do some 10 by 40, 10,000th by 40,000th, a couple of strips right here, but I may change that up, and then I'll probably do a single strip up this seam and just sort of let it be as it is, sort of to mate up with this other one. Now if you guys will see, I'm going to try to get one of these flags in here, but you might be catching this little detail right up here in between these things. There's a little brass ring in there, and I made a couple of flags to see if I could stick them in there. And the only reason I did it was so I could accentuate a little bit of my work, so that you guys might be able to pick it out a little bit better. So that is truly the only reason for these flags. So let me just bend it over once and give you guys a look at it. Okay, but that's all I did. Just threw a little flag tag on there. Might go good for some remove before arming flags that goes on there. But anyway, that's about where we are tonight. I will let me show you guys the bird real quick. Whoa, look at that. Jesus, God said let there be light, and there was. So anyway, I don't know if that's any better for you guys or not, but hopefully maybe you can see a little bit of that detail in there. I hope you can. Anyway, my efforts tonight on my pylons. So I'm glad I got those last 8 pegs set. I'll throw the other flags in there in a bit. And let's slide Mr. Punisher screen out of the way. And we'll bring the bird in here. Let you guys have a closer look at that. And I'll also show you while I was doing that. And you know what? We'll go ahead and stick these pylons on while I have them out and available and up. But I haven't done any more to the body really. There's some areas I need to hit back here. I hit them pretty hard with sandpaper. I took down some of the rivet detail down here. Tried to keep the rest of it. It's not really so much rivet detail as it is, well, it is rivet detail, but it's very well done. It doesn't look like anything I can do with one of my riveting tools, so I'll probably just get something like a sharp point like that and redo it one at a time or so. So anyway, I also did some add-ons on my little strip of screeny weeny guys here. These are the third pylons. These are the guys that sit. The other two sit here, and they're thicker. Third one sits right here, and then there's a fourth one that sits right out here on the wing. So again, this guy would sit here under the folder, and then the two larger ones would sit inboard, and inboard of that times both sides. So anyway, let's flip Bertha over here. We'll set her tail up a little bit. I also stripped my exhaust cans because I was not happy with them, so I'm going to redo them. And that's that. So, I'm very much vacillating on this bird right now too, because to be honest with you guys, after taking a closer look at the landing gear, I don't even want to look at them again. I really don't. They're terrible. They really, really are. Which one of those freaking sides is forward? It's that one. No, it's not. Tags on later. So anyway, I'm sorry, I meant to be showing you guys what I was doing down here. So the other night I got the dogtooth folder wings set up here, and as you can see, they're wonky. They droop on both sides. I'll live with it. No big. So anyway, the two big inner pylons sit here and here on the inboard side, under both wings. Alright, so that's some neat detail there. And then we have these two outboard guys, which are going to sit here and here. So as you can see, there's quite a bit down there. I did add the fuel tank just for fun, so you guys can get a decent look at her. That's a pretty good looking plane. Actually, I'm kind of glad it is devoid of ordnance, and I'm going this way with it. I think it's going to look pretty good. So anyway, that's my attempt on well, on my details. And let's have a look. Let me know what you think. Personally, I'm not entirely disenchanted with that. I think it looks okay. And I think once I figure out whether or not I'm going to get the landing gear, oh, let's take a look at those while I got those out and about for you. Let's get this out of the way. And those, and we'll take a look at this. So anyway, I did a neat little mod on the wheels last night. I just glued a white disc in there. I don't know if you guys can see any of that, but just as some hub background on the wheels. And those are depressed wheels, on the rear anyway. Now, these would probably look real good, but they're going to take a lot of work. They really, really are, and I just don't know that I want to pour over them. I might, but here's a portion of the build that I didn't like so much, and I didn't really miss it in the instructions. It's just not called out very well, and most of that is the fact that for these rear bay doors, and you can see these are the two front guys, which actually they sit under the nose. And if I can get this guy figured out, but as you can see here, they sit against this inside portion of the wall, and they basically just sit there. So that's the front gear on that side, the front hatch anyway. And if I can get this guy right, no it's not, I got that backwards, damn it. No, I didn't. Anyway, and then as the front gear sits up there, it this little portion of the back triangular piece deck sits way back here, and there's another connector piece that connects these two. However, this is just the rear gear that I have off right now. The other portion of the doors that I wanted to show you guys are, and I'm going to take all of these pylons off because I do not want to risk boogering them. I have entirely too much work in them today. And we're coming up on 23 minutes, so we're still okay in that respect. Alright. So these doors fit really, really strangely. And much like those two front pieces that plug in there, there's also rear plug-in pieces that make up a portion of the back deck here and here on these internal pieces. And if I can get these picked out right, I'm not sure which one's 42 and which one's not. These do not fit well. They do not please me. Not at all. They might look cool once everything's together, but I'm not convinced it's going to be worth the extra work. However, that's a little bit of how those doors look. These other guys, if I were to cut them, they're going to require some trimming and some additional work. Plus, I won't have to paint those stupid red interior doors, which are actually sort of a standout portion of this model. So the other, I forget. it's these big ass doors that go in the back. Although I could be very, very wrong. Yeah. Yeah, I'm wrong. These guys, if they're going to go in the 44 doors, they go here. And they look funky too. So I just don't know. I'm undecided. I'm going to need a little bit of time to figure it out. But I'm going to take a look at some things and see. This other guy, he just fits somewhere back here. He formulates the other side of that. And I'm sure it's very crowded once the gear gets in here too. I test fit some of the gear last night too, and I think I could probably get these back pieces to stick. It is pretty flat in there, but I'll be honest with you, I think it'll take more glue, and I think it'll actually take away some of the detail. And also considering that I forgot to clean up that portion of that white to glue to. I don't want to have to glue to it now, but I might try it. I just might. I just don't know yet. But, sorry, just want to get these out of here so I don't have to deal with them. But anyway, guys, from S3 Model Works, thanks for joining me for a half hour or so. When I make some more progress on this thing, I'll show it to you guys, but that's where I'm at for right now. So, the shark bite. I think they came out pretty neat. Still can't get the damn camera to focus worth a crap. But maybe you guys are picking some of that up. I hope. I hope. But anyway, I'll let those set. Do it overnight. Looking forward to seeing if that 3D detail comes out there on top. But anyway, guys, from S3 Model Works, great spending some time with you. Thanks for tuning in to the channel. Come back, tell your friends, share. If you like, leave me a thumbs up. If you don't like, leave me a thumbs down. You know, comment, ask a question, share a technique, tip. I'm game. But anyway, have a great night, guys. It's Scott. See you later. Good night.